Hello, in this video we are going to learn lexical verbs and auxiliary verbs. Let us begin with auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary means to help or support something else, to act as a backup or to be secondary to something more significant. Auxiliary verbs are often called helping verbs. There is a fixed number of auxiliary verbs in English as opposed to lexical verbs which are infinite and can be added to all the time. Lexical means relating to words. Lexical verbs are the main verbs in a phrase or sentence. To put it simply, lexical verbs are any verbs which are not auxiliary verbs. Look at this sentence. I run daily. ഞാൻ എല്ലാ ദിവസവും ഓടാറുണ്ട്. I is the subject and run is the lexical verb. What about daily? Daily is an adverb. It describes the verb. Lexical verbs carry their own meaning. They are full verbs and therefore can exist independently. Consider this sentence. I can run. എനിക്ക് ഓടാൻ കഴിയും. Here again, I is the subject. The lexical verb is run. It is the main verb. What about can? This is the helping verb or the auxiliary verb. It's a model. It helps the main verb in giving the meaning of ability. ഓടാൻ കഴിയും. What if the sentence was I can? I can what? It is incomplete because we don't know what he can do. The sentence is only complete if there is a main verb. Hence, lexical verbs can exist independently, that is, without any helping verbs. They can also be used along with auxiliary verbs. Look at this sentence. I was dancing at the party yesterday. Which is the lexical verb? Dancing. And the auxiliary verb? Was. At is the preposition. The is the article. Yesterday is the adverb. It describes the verb dancing. When were you dancing? Yesterday. Now examples of auxiliary verbs are maybe, may, be, was, is, had, has, could, would, can, did, might, etc. Examples for lexical verbs are run, laugh, see, think, want, act, pull, walk, go, make, etc. Let us look at few more examples. I will eat chapati. In this sentence, will is the auxiliary verb and eat is the lexical verb, as it shows the main action of the subject. Suppose someone asks you, do you eat chapati? Yes, I eat chapati. ഞാൻ ചപ്പാത്തി കഴിക്കാറുണ്ട്. When we add the auxiliary verb will, the sentence is communicating to us the meaning that the person is going to eat chapati later on. What will you have at night? I will eat chapati. Look at this sentence. I will have the dinner. Will is the auxiliary verb. Have is the lexical verb. The verb to have is unique. It can act as the main verb to denote the action of eating food. It can also function as an auxiliary verb or a helping verb to help the main verb. I have completed my homework. Completed is the lexical verb or the main verb and have is the auxiliary verb. Try replacing written in the place of completed. I have written my homework. Here written is the main verb. She laughed only on my interesting jokes. Lexical verb, laughed. Auxiliary verb, there is no auxiliary verb here. Did you eat your lunch? Did is the auxiliary verb. Eat is the lexical verb. Dear students, shall we learn some grammar? Shall is the auxiliary verb. Which is the lexical verb? Learn. Sir, we have just eaten. Can we watch a movie instead? We have just eaten. ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ ഭക്ഷണം കഴിച്ചിട്ടേ ഉള്ളൂ. അതിൻ്റെ ക്ഷീണത്തിലാണ്. A task has been completed in the past and is having a connection to the present. This is the present perfect. So we have just eaten. Lexical verb, eaten. Auxiliary verb, have. What is this just? It's an adverb. Alright. Now, can we watch a movie instead? Can is the auxiliary verb. Watch is a lexical verb. The verbs has, have, is, was, am, can, shall, may, might, will are all auxiliary verbs. But can, shall, may, might, will, etc. are a subcategory of auxiliary verbs and are called modal verbs. So what are modal verbs? Modal verbs are a subcategory of auxiliary verbs. Lexical verbs are the main verbs which can exist independently in a sentence. Auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs. They help the main verb in communicating various aspects of meaning.